This podcast is intended for adults 18 years and older. It contains explicit language and sexual situations. All thoughts and opinions expressed are of our own and not of those of any specific group, employer, or individual, and is not intended to take as professional advice.
Welcome to the Foreplay Podcast. Join the journey, experiences, and sexual adventures of two high school sweethearts navigating their way through the swinging lifestyle as millennials. Come along for the ride. Let's play. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Foreplay Podcast. This is Bella.
This is Jase.
And today's story is super fun. We are going to talk about the first time we ever had an orgy or were a part of an orgy.
Mm-hmm.
And
our first one? Yeah, this was our first orgy.
Before we get started, we are both interested to know. You guys can send us an email at foreplaypodcast@gmail.com. How many people makes up an orgy? Or you can leave us a voicemail. It'll be in the episode show notes, our phone number.
You can pause this podcast right now.
Yeah.
We're waiting for you to send the email. Okay, are you sending it? Good. Okay, now we can tell you what our answers are so that you're not influenced. So if you haven't sent the email yet, don't continue because we're about to give you the answer, okay? So, I always said I thought it was 6.
I always thought 5. 5 or more makes an orgy.
But after doing some research and looking into it, I think a vast majority of people agree with you that once you hit 5, it is not a fivesome, to my surprise. It is an orgy. I thought you had to have 6 people for it to be an orgy. That's what I thought the rule was.
I just think because most people don't say fivesome. Like, if you're talking about your experience, would you say if there was 5 people, oh yeah, I had a fivesome?
I would have, yes.
You would have said that? Oh.
But I wouldn't have said I had a 6-some. I would have said it was an orgy.
Up to debate, I guess. But this is kind of funny and beside the point, but we met someone one time and then we asked this couple the same question. And then we said, on the count of 3, you guys have to say it. And then he said, I think 5 or more. Yeah. And she said 10. Yeah. 10 or more.
And we were like, what do you call 9 a 9-some? Like, what are you?
That's a lie. She was like, I just got nervous today now. So we were at Colette and we saw our friends.
And this was Halloween, you say that?
Oh, this was Halloween. Mm-hmm. I completely forgot. Yes, this was Halloween. And we saw our friends Carter and Selena, who were in a previous podcast. I'm going to have to get better at knowing the podcast episodes they're in. But we have been friends with Selena and Carter for a while. We had Soul Swap with them before, and they're super fun. And he was...
a Greek god, I think.
Yeah.
And the boy's built like a Greek god.
He really is. He looks photoshopped. Like, I don't know how he has like 8 abs. Jeez. Yes. And I think that she was probably a goddess, I assume, right? Yeah, she's probably a Greek goddess. And
also a goddess body.
Yes. And I was Sailor Moon, which is from an anime, if you guys are unfamiliar with anime stuff. But I didn't wear a yellow wig or anything. I just had my normal hair, but I had it in pigtails with the little meatball things on my head. It was cute. And then you were...
I was Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Oh, we'll have to post pictures. We'll post pictures on our episode webpage.
Yeah, but I'm going to do my impression right now. I'd like to apologize to absolutely fucking no one.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Did you do that night? Or I feel like your impersonation wasn't that good that night.
I don't know, but
you looked just like him.
I did, because I had the red hair and the beard. One of my favorite costumes.
Yes.
It was one of my favorite costumes ever done.
He bought
Irish flag. We actually... we won 6 free months to Colette because of that costume.
I know, it was a really good costume. And you can get this tattoo printer paper, which is really cool. And you didn't just use an inkjet printer, and it's a temporary tattoo. It is so neat.
But I had the full-on, like, Notorious McGregor on my stomach and that ape on my chest.
Yes,
and, like,
and all over your arm.
It was awesome.
It was really good.
It was probably my favorite costume I've ever done.
And we were hanging out with them, and they had some friends, and we will name them.
Ooh, we're doing the famous people's names. What about
Clark and Lois
Kent.
Lane? Clark and
Lois. Okay.
Yeah.
Lewis and Clark. No, let's go Lois and Clark.
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
so like
Lois
Superman
and Clark.
And her.
Lois Lane.
Yeah.
So they introduced us to their friends, and they actually look very similar to each other. They're both couples, super tan. Oh, she's actually really tiny, Lois. I think she's smaller than, like, shorter
I bet
than
she's
me.
like 5 foot.
Yeah.
She's really short.
Because I'm really short, and I think that I'm taller than her. So we were all hanging out.
What were they being?
I don't know. I can't remember what. I think she was a sailor. Were they sailors?
Maybe they were sailors. I don't remember for sure.
I feel like they were. Why is that coming to my head?
It could be, but I don't remember for sure.
I will say nobody really knew who I was. One of the workers knew who I was.
So you were also a sailor.
I was a sailor.
Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
I think they might have been sailors. We're going to go with they were
I
sailors.
think that they were. Okay. But they both look similar. The both couples look similar. Really good looking, super tan, dark hair. And
If you got the dark hair and tan skin, those are me.
I also have
Mr. Pale with red hair. Like,
oh, I don't even know what to say to that.
nothing to say.
No, you were so good looking. I feel we should take this all apart.
I thought it was kind of funny.
Was it?
Yeah, we should leave it in.
Okay.
So yeah, we ended up meeting their friends, and we all kind of hit it off really well. We were all hanging out.
I can't remember anything that happened at the club there.
I don't
just
think
know
really
we were
much
a lot,
happened.
yeah.
I think we just all hung out. We were just all talking, all hanging out. And then I think that Carter was something along the lines of, hey, we have a hotel. Should we all get out of here? And we were like, okay, like that sounds fun.
I think Selena talked to me too, and she was like, hey, do you want to have an orgy with this couple?
I think she did say that.
Yeah, I remember she told me, or somebody told me that, and I was like, and I think I went over to you, and we talked about it, and we were like, yeah.
Yeah. And
We're
so
down.
they had a car, and we had Ubered there.
Yep.
So we ended up riding with them back to the hotel, and then Lois and Clark, it's just funny to say, they drove too. So we all ended up meeting at the hotel. And then I remember, not as much as I would like to, I do remember that me and you started together.
Uh-huh.
So everyone started with their own couple or with their own significant other. And so I remember you going down on me for a while. And I think that, you know, the other couple was doing their thing. The other couple was doing their thing. And this place had 2 beds.
Yeah.
So we can paint a picture here. There was a bed on the right and on the left.
They were like 2 queen beds. Like
And there was a
typical
TV
hotel
on the other
room.
side in between. So yeah, they I think that, did we end up having sex too before we swapped?
I don't remember. I just know that I started fucking Carter and I started riding him. And that's the first thing I remember.
Okay, well, I remember that.
In the hotel room.
Because I know that, is that what you did first? Because okay, then maybe that is what happened. So you stopped doing stuff with me, and then you started doing stuff with Carter, and then Selena came over to me.
Okay, yeah.
And she started going down on me.
Oh, I think I probably sucked his dick first and then got on top of him.
I remember her going down on me for a little while. And then I think, were you over on the left bed though?
If you're looking at both beds, I was on the left
That's
bed.
what I thought.
Yes,
so I remember she was going down on me, and then you guys had moved over to the left bed.
Okay,
and then Lois and Clark were on the end of the right bed, and I was with Selena
on the same bed
with them. And so she was going down on me, and then I kind of like moved her, and I turned her around and like bent her over on the bed.
Okay.
Because the bed was kind of like waist height.
Standing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
The bed was kind of like waist height.
Uh-huh.
And so like I was able to kind of bend her over on the bed. And then I started fucking her doggy for a while. And I think Lois and Clark were still doing their thing together. And then you were over there with Carter.
Yes. And Carter gave me my favorite compliment during sex that I've ever gotten. It's still stuck with me to this day. He said, "You fuck like a porn star." And I was like, oh, I felt like I got a Grammy. Because let me tell you, Carter is really good at fucking.
What are those things called that you get whenever you win?
Oh, an AVP?
An AVN award? Is that what the porn awards are called?
That's what I felt like. I was like, oh my God, thank you. And I think I just fucked a Carter.
The golden dildo.
I wish I had a golden dildo.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I want to make people golden dildo awards. We should host a fucking golden dildo award
like
party.
in The Office, the Dundies.
Yes.
Just dumb awards. At the end of the year, everyone gets like the best mitigator and like best oral.
No, we can't do that. But like funny ones.
Best dressed, best costume, just always something fun. Oh, that'd be so fun.
We should do that.
They're called the golden dildos.
Okay,
copyright October 29th, 2020. The Foreplay Podcast cannot take the Golden Dildo Awards unless that's a thing, and we will not take it. So, yeah, I remember watching you guys fuck, and it is like, you guys look so good together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like porn stars.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I was fucking her for a little bit. And then I remember I stopped fucking her, and she was like, okay, everybody switch. And then she's like, everybody also switch condoms.
Yeah. She and Carter are the best at directing.
Yeah.
They just know.
Is that what a mitigator is, right?
Yes, a mitigator.
Yeah, that's what they would get. They would get the award. Best couple mitigator.
Yes.
Selena and Carter.
And then they have really good ideas for different positions. It's like, how do you know all of these in your head? You just keep them in your head and you just remember. Because I think about them, but I don't remember what to do during play. Like, I'm not like, okay, you go here and you go here and let's try this position.
He's like a football coach, like running a play. He's like, we're going to hand it off to 28, and then we're going to... That's what they're like. But it's awesome. It really is awesome.
They are a great team.
They really are. They are a great team.
They need to be at every party.
They do.
Every party needs Selena and Carter.
They do. The referee shirts on, directing traffic.
With no pants.
So then I remember...
It's like getting his cock sucked while he's like directing. With a whistle? Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
So we all switch, and then I go over to Clark.
Yes. And then I think that Carter and Selena were together. I think that you switched over.
Yeah, I went to Clark, and then you went with Lois.
Yeah, and I took Lois over to the other bed.
Oh, okay.
And then Carter and Selena were together where I had just fucked Selena. So they had moved over there. So then you were back in that corner where Carter and Lois had been.
Yeah. I remember he was fucking me missionary, but he was standing off the bed and I was laying on the bed. And he was really good fucking too. And this was the first time that someone choked me during sex. And I was like, I like this. I didn't know I like this, but I really do like it. And I'm not a germaphobe, but I'm germ aware. I think that's what you say.
Yeah,
germ aware.
That's what I say.
But he was choking me, and then he took his fingers and like put them in my mouth so I could suck them. And I was like, this is hot, but I wish he would have washed his hands before. It's like, I don't know if he washed his hands. I remember
okay, be in the moment. Be in the moment.
I remember thinking that, but I mean, it was like really hot. I was like, oh, he's very dominant.
So I remember she really wanted to fuck. She has a high sex drive because there's a story about her later, which she was not called Lois later.
Oh.
Because we filmed a podcast in the future that we had done stuff with them or with her again. So that name's not going to match up. But
anyways, yeah.
But anyway, she has like the super high sex drive, and it's super hot because she always tells you how much she wants to fuck you.
Yeah.
And so she like pushed me on my back, and she rode me reverse cowgirl, which I don't think. No, that's not true. One other person done it before. But that position, okay, this also, email us this with the whole thing about how many people's in an orgy. If you are a male, when someone is riding you reverse cowgirl, do you get nervous at all? Because I get a little nervous.
I get nervous doing. I don't ever do it to people. Because sometimes, like, if it comes out, I just don't want it to, like, fall back and, like, slap your... I just slapped my boob.
I'm not worried about that.
Hurt?
I'm just worried about the way that it bends. Like, if you know what you're doing, it works okay. It doesn't hurt. But if you start to move the wrong way really quickly, at least for my dick, it don't bend that way too much. So that she rode me for a while, and it felt great. Like, she's really good at it. But guys, whenever a girl's like, okay, I'm going to ride you reverse, you start to sweat just a little bit because I know I'm like, okay.
Do you think your penis is going to break or something?
Yeah, I'm afraid it's going to like come out or like bend the wrong way and snap. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Makes my balls hurt to think about it.
Okay.
So guys, answer that question. foreplaypodcast@gmail.com. But anyway, so she rode me reverse for a while, and then I remember like moving her, and I moved her on her back. I started fucking her missionary, but I wasn't like leaning on her. I was more up on my knees fucking her, if that makes sense. And then I was fucking her, and then she kind of like stopped me, and she took my dick out, and then she squirted all over me.
Oh.
Which that was the first time that had ever happened before. And I was like, whoa. I was like, that's hot, because you don't squirt.
I don't swear.
And so I was like, oh, that's hot. And then my next thought was like, I'm a very organized and clean person. I was like, oh, these sheets. These poor sheets are wet. But I was like, oh, that's hot. And so then I think after I did that, she took my condom off and like gave me a blowjob for a while. And I so clearly remember this next part. Do you remember the next part of this?
I think I know where you're going, but I remember whenever you guys were fucking, she kept saying like, "Oh, you're so pretty." Like she kept talking about me to Clark. It was like, "Girl, she's so pretty, she's so sexy," and that was really hyping me up. I remember her saying that.
Yeah. So
and
best
also,
hype man, golden dildo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ghost I also remember because I don't think that they were like super into me. I think this is why she kept saying that, because I don't know if they were super into me whenever we first got there because of how I looked with my costume on. Because
because he told me that.
Yes,
he was like, I knew you were really pretty. But then once you took your costume off, I didn't realize like how beautiful you were, because you did look like an anime character.
Yeah, and
which isn't everyone's kink.
Yeah, I had these like circle hair things on my head, and they were in like I had like bangs, like fake bangs, and my hair was in pigtails. So when I took everything off, and my hair is just like long and flowy, like how it usually is, I looked a lot different than my costume. But anyways,
and you weren't like in a little like cheerleader skirt. You were just like naked, and so like it's kind of a different thing.
But anyway, so I thought that was funny.
This podcast is brought to you by us, Bella and Jase. Have you guys ever been to a party or just looking to spice the night up? We have the ultimate adult party game. It's called Foreplay the Game. It's an adult icebreaker game that really always just makes for a fun time. If you want more information about it, you can check it out at foreplay.com/games.
If you're newer into the lifestyle and you're wanting to learn more about it, we do have an introduction to swinging course that you can find more information at foreplay.com/learn. It has all the information that we wish we would have known before we first got into the lifestyle. We also have swinger and lifestyle clothing, and you can find that at foreplay.com/shop. Back to the show.
She was sucking your dick, and then I think...
I don't remember how it all got here.
I think somebody said everybody should go suck Jase's dick.
Yeah.
Right? I think it was Selena that said that, because she was like, "Oh, we should all go give," or no, maybe it was Carter.
I don't know.
It was
now
Carter
normally nowadays it's me says that.
Yeah.
But someone else was the wingman for me on this one. And so I was like, or like
I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was like Hunger Games, like I volunteer. So I went over back to the right bed, and I remember sitting there, and I had never had a triple blowjob before. I'd had double blowjobs before, but never a triple blowjob. And I had seen porn, so I was like, oh shit, this is happening. And so I remember once again, Selena being the coach that she is, she was like, okay, I'm going to suck on his dick, and then you guys each suck on one ball. That's... I was like, okay. And so then I remember she was kind of like going down on me, and then you guys were both sucking on my balls together. And then I think we ended up doing the whole thing where, like I took it out of her mouth, and you guys all kind of did everything. Yeah. But it was just a triple blowjob, and I was like, oh my God, this is so hot. It wasn't just, it was a triple blowjob. And so you guys were all going down on me, and then you were like, hey, why don't you guys go start on Carter and I'll finish Jase? So I was like, okay. And so they went over and started doing something with Carter or Clark. I don't remember, because I was just looking at you at this point. So you just kept going down on me, and then I came in your mouth. Uh-huh. And then
I think I ran to the bathroom.
I think we both went to the bathroom. Yeah. We're like, I was like, holy shit, did you see that? like you weren't there.
I was a part of it.
It was
I was sucking on the ball.
It was so fun though. And since then, like, we've done that a few more times, and that's such a fun thing. Like that you've never experienced. The triple blowjob is so fun. But double blowjobs, I think, are one of my favorite things, like lifestyle wise.
Double ones are easier because it's more focused. Like you don't have to share as much. Not in a bad way. It's just you don't have to think of like, okay, where does my head go, or can I go this way?
And then,
So, bonking noggins.
I can see that.
So for your bonking noggins, fight over this dick.
But when you're the guy and you see three of them, because you're usually in the middle. So when there's three, because we've done other ones like where I've had girls on both sides, and like I've taken both girls' heads and like pushed them together when you were in the middle. So it's like.
So they're like kissing on top of me?
No, like kissing on my dick while you're going down.
Oh,
so that's like three is kind of like hot for a guy.
See, it's probably
anyway.
easier. It's easier if you can like do stuff with the three.
Yeah, because you like move
but whenever
around.
you're in it, it's kind of hard to like.
Yeah, because you can control. Because like I can take my dick out and put it in somebody else's. Person to person. Can you do triple cunnilingus? Does that work? Is that a thing? That'd be hard.
That would be hard. I would think you had to be able to do the splits.
Yeah, you gotta be able to do the splits. All right, if we can ever find a girl that can do the splits, and we got you, me, and another girl, we gotta go for it. Hopefully, one day we'll update you in a podcast about a triple cunnilingus. But yeah, so you made me come, and then I remember I was really tired. I was super tired because it was like 4 a.m. at that point. And after I come, I usually also get tired. And so I remember when I went and I sat up like against a wall. And I was like, okay, I'm just
on the floor. I remember that.
Yeah, I was like sitting on the floor and like my back was against the wall. I was like, I'm just gonna rest my eyes for a second.
Because I think I went over to give more people head.
See, I legitimately fell asleep because after I came, I was already tired because it was 4 a.m. and then I came, which made me more tired because when I come, I get tired. And I literally like fell asleep sitting on the floor with like my head against a wall, and then you woke me up like when everything was over, which is so sad because I would have loved to watch that, but I guess I was just so tired that I fell asleep. So I apologize to them. I was not trying to be rude. I just accidentally fell asleep because I came. I couldn't help it.
I don't remember.
So you have to fill me in the rest.
I can't. How? Usually you're able to fill it in, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that part and can expand, but I don't remember.
I remember you waking me up. That's all I got after that.
I don't remember anyone else coming, but I'm sure they did. I don't remember how Lois came. Oh wait, no, I don't remember how Clark came. I remember that Selena was also really tired, and I think she was like.
I think she fell asleep
sleeping
too.
on the bed.
I think she fell asleep on the bed too. It was like 4 a.m. It was so. We were so tired. It was so tiring. And we moved around, so it was so much fun. It was so fun.
So that's when we found out that we just love orgies.
Uh-huh.
It's so fun.
It's so fun.
And then we called an Uber, kissed everybody goodbye, and left. And that is the end of the Halloween orgy. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we can have another Halloween orgy.
I agree.
It's coming up.
I hope this Halloween ends in an orgy too.
Yeah.
Or two.
2 orgies? 2 separate orgies? I don't know if I got enough energies for that.
Yeah, I don't want to fall asleep.
You know what's funny though? The more people there is, it's still just one orgy. Isn't that interesting?
That's true. If you fuck 20 people at an orgy, you fuck 3 people, it's still one orgy.
Wait. Oh, are you talking about the amount of people you fucked if there's more than 5 people in the room?
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about like different. You were talking about having 2 orgies, but on one day. But I was like, so if you have an orgy with 10 people and then you have an orgy with another 10 people, that's 2 orgies. But if you had one orgy with 20 of the same people, that's just 1 orgy.
Oh, both interesting topics. But honestly, that's kind of a short story, and that's not the longest podcast in the world. But I feel like it deserved its own story because it really was our first orgy, and it was really fun. That was also, it was nice to kind of hear about you. Because I remember talking about it after it happened and hearing about, oh, I was over here on this bed with her and you were over here. Because we hadn't played that much where we weren't right next to each other, really, that often.
That was the first time that we weren't, like, in the same bed.
Yeah, and that was kind of like another level of more comfort in the lifestyle for us. And so that was really fun to be able to kind of talk about. It was hot to talk about it later about, oh, well, this is what she was doing to me. Because I don't think she knew that she squirted on me or whatever. So I think that it was nice to talk about those things
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was hot.
And so that's something I enjoyed about this experience too. So I really felt like it deserved its own story.
Yeah.
But let's end with our weekly obsessions.
Bella and Jase's weekly obsessions.
We are getting so
theme song.
Good. We're gonna get the golden dildo for best
best podcast theme song.
So I will start with my thing because I don't know the song is yet, but for my obsession this week for thing is we got this, we've had it for a long time, but we played this card game called Karma, Karma.
That's a good one.
And it is such a fun game. And we hadn't played it for a few years, and we got to go home and see our family, so we played with our family. And it's just such a fun game. And so since we got back, we played it like every single night this whole week. And so that's my obsession. I mean, literally right now, my podcast mic is sitting on top of the game.
It really is.
It actually
I should take a picture of it. I'll take a picture of it and post it to
and
Twitter.
you can see what our podcast mic looks like.
It's on a lamp.
So that's. Oh, we also got those lamps this week.
Yeah,
Kind of
that's
fun.
really
Got some new
cute.
decorations. But that is my weekly obsession for things. What is your weekly obsession for things?
We got a pull-up bar that you can move it around, so you can stick it in the door frame, but then you can also move it so it doesn't have to stay in the door frame and look ugly. But that has been really awesome. I'm really, really trying to work my upper body strength. I have very strong legs, but no upper body strength, so I want to learn how to do a pull-up this year.
I love that. That's a great one because it's also nice with doing so much calisthenics stuff. You used to listen to some of our last podcast. It's getting really cold now, and so going outside isn't as fun. So now we're able to attach the rings and have the pull-up bar and everything inside so we can do a full workout inside, which is so nice. I'm so thankful we're able to do that. So I think that's and it was normally like $100 and it was on sale on Amazon.
No, I got a different one. This one just normally is like $25 or something. You guys, I'll link it too if you guys want to put it in the show notes.
Awesome. It's a really great, and I made it. It only took like 15 minutes to put together. Really easy. Awesome. So now weekly obsession with song. You go first.
Yes, my music weekly obsession is by the K-pop girl band Twice. They had a new comeback recently. I love them so much. And their new song, I Can't Stop, is my favorite song right now. And I want to learn the dance. They kind of do a little whoa in there.
Whoa.
Oh, another weekly obsession is learning the dolphin dance. I finally learned how to do the TikTok dolphin dance. It's like the one where you put your hand, it goes like a thief in the night. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm good at it now, right?
You actually are really good at it. Translates into sex. So
it really is kind of the same movement, though. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that's true. Have you ever had sex with a dancer before?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
I would love to have sex with a dancer, like professional dancer, like sometime, because they just know how to move their hips.
I know.
Like I want someone that can like salsa or do.
No, like a hip hop, like a Channing Tatum.
I mean, I'm probably gonna skip on Channing Tatum for me, but someone that can
Female
do
version of
female. So for my song this week, it's not a new song, but I've been listening to it a lot lately. "Good to Be Alive" by Andy Grammer.
That's a good one.
It's such a good song, and I have been obsessed with listening to that this whole week. So I am gonna go with that as my song of the week.
And that is the end of today's podcast.
If you'd like to support the show, you can leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to our podcast. All our information will be listed in the show notes below. You can email us at fourplaypodcast@gmail.com. That's the number 4, O-U-R, playpodcast@gmail.com with any questions or comments, or head to fourplay.com/ask. We have a digital online game called Foreplay the Game. It's the ultimate adult party game for the sexually inclined and perfect for breaking the ice. You can find more information at foreplay.com/games. We give away 1 free game of Foreplay Plus a month to a listener who writes a review, so just screenshot your review and email it to us for a chance to win. We have swinger and lifestyle clothing and accessories at foreplay.com/shop and courses at foreplay.com/learn. And we also have a Facebook group called Foreplay Community and would love for you to join at facebook.com/group/foreplay community. We're on Twitter at Foreplay Podcast and Instagram at Hey Bella Luna and at Hey Jase. I have an OnlyFans, which you can find at onlyfans.com/BellaLunaVIP or my free one at BellaLunaFree. Lastly, we're on Cassidy and SDC at Bella and Jase, and you can get a free 30-day full membership by using our link. Again, all our information will be listed in the show notes below, and we thank you so much for listening to our podcast. See you in the next one. Bye!